Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayana Namaskrityam.
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraya.
Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu
Nashtapraya Subhadresu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate Uttama Sloke.
Bhaktin Bhavadir Naistiti
Bhakti Bhavati Nastike.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha.
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome all the devotees. Today we are going to discuss Canto 1, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, text number 40 and 41. Okay. This is the continuation of same Mahārāja Parīkṣit cursed by a brāhmaṇa boy. Okay. So I'll read this sloga. Please repeat behind me.
Okay.
Visirjatam cha papachaha
Visitatam cha papacha.
vatsa kasmati rodisi
Vassa kasmadadi rodisi.
yena vate apakritam
Ena bhavate pakakritam.
iti uktaha sa nyavedayat.
Iti yuktaha sanyavedayat.
Translation, please repeat behind me. Translation, Purport 5 is giving grace Abhay Charanavarta X. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation, he threw the dead snake
He threw the dead snake
aside
aside
and asked his son
and asked his son
why he was crying,
why he was crying,
whether anyone had done him harm.
whether anyone had done him harm.
On hearing this,
On hearing this,
the son explained to him
the son explained to him
what had happened.
what had happened.
Purport, the father did not take the dead snake on his neck very seriously. He simply threw it away. Actually, there was nothing seriously wrong in Mahārāja Parīkṣit's act. But the foolish son took it very seriously, and being influenced by Kali, he cursed the king and thus ended a chapter of a happy history. Text number 41. Please repeat behind me. Niśamya śaptam atad-arhaṁ narendraṁ.
niśamya śaptam atad-arhaṁ narendraṁ.
Narendraṁ.
Sa brāhmaṇo nātmajam abhyanandat.
Sa brāhmaṇo nātmajam abhyanandat.
Aho batāṁho mahad adya kṛtam.
Aho batāṁho mahad adya kṛtam.
Alpīyasi droha urur damo dhṛtaḥ.
Alpīyasi droha urur damo dhṛtaḥ.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me.
Okay.
Niśamya,
Niśamya.
after hearing.
After hearing.
Śaptam,
Śaptam.
cursed.
Cursed.
Atad-arhaṁ,
Atad-arhaṁ.
never to be condemned.
Never to be condemned.
Narendraṁ,
Narendraṁ.
unto the king,
Unto the king.
best of humankind.
Best of humankind.
Saha,
Sa.
that.
That.
that
Brāhmaṇah,
brāhmaṇa,
Brāhmana Rishi,
brāhmana
Rishi,
rishis,
na,
na,
not,
not,
Nātmajam,
atmajam,
atad-arhaṁ,
his own son,
his own son,
abhyanandat,
abhyanandat,
congratulated,
congratulated,
aho,
aho,
alas,
alas,
bata,
bata,
distressing,
distressing,
amhaha,
mahā,
since,
since,
mahad,
mahad,
great,
great,
adya,
adya,
today,
today,
say,
say,
yourself,
yourself,
kṛtam,
kṛtam,
performed,
perform,
alpīyasi,
alpīyasi,
insignificant,
insignificant,
drohi,
drohi,
offense,
offense,
urur,
urur,
very great,
very great,
damaha,
damo,
punishment,
punishment,
dhṛtaḥ,
dhṛtaḥ,
awarded.
awarded.
Meaning, please repeat behind me. Translation. The father heard from his son
The father heard from his son
that the king had been cursed,
the king had been cursed,
although he should never
although he should never
have been condemned,
have been condemned,
for he was the
for he was the
best amongst all human beings.
best amongst all human beings.
The Rishi
The Rishi
did not congratulate his son,
did not congratulate his son,
but
but
on the contrary,
on the contrary,
began to repent,
began to repent, saying,
alas,
alas,
what a great sinful act
what a great sinful act
was performed by my son.
was performed by my son.
He has awarded
He was awarded
heavy punishment for
heavy punishment for
an insignificant offense.
an insignificant offense.
Purport. The king is the best of all human beings. He is the representative of God, and he is never to be condemned for any of his actions. In other words, the king can do no wrong. The king may order hanging of a culprit son of a brāhmana, but he does not become sinful for killing a brāhmana. Even if there is something wrong with the king, he is never to be condemned. A medical practitioner may kill a patient by mistaken statement, but such a killer is never condemned to death. So, what to speak of a good and pious king like Mahārāja Parīkṣit? In the Vedic way of life, the king is trained to become a rājarṣi or a great saint, although he is ruling as a king. It is the king only by whose good government the citizen can live peacefully and without any fear. The rājarṣis would manage their kingdom so nicely and piously that their subject would respect them as if they were their lord. That is the instruction of the Vedas. The king is called narendraṁ, or the best amongst the human being. How then could a king like Mahārāja Parīkṣit be condemned by an inexperienced, puffed up son of a brāhmana, even though he had attained the powers of a qualified brāhmana? Since Samiksha Rishi was an experienced good brāhmana, he did not approve of the action of his condemned son. He began a lament for all that his son had done. The king was beyond the jurisdiction of curse as a general rule, and what to speak of a good king like Mahārāja Parīkṣit. The offense of the king was not insignificant, and his being condemned to death was certainly a very great sin of Shringi. Therefore, Rishi Samiga regretted the whole incident. Hare Krishna. So, in these two slokas, if you see the first sloka, the 1.18.40, he was Samikya Rishi, he was in the meditation, and the Parīkṣit Maharaj, he put a garlanded a dead snake because Samikya Rishi not responded to him when he was asking the water. So but there is no reaction from the Rishi because he was in the deep meditation. Then the king left from the place. And by hearing this, the Brahmana Bai gave the curse to the king that from today, the seventh day, the king will be die. The king will be die. The king need to die. What will be with by the snake bite. So that is a curse he gave it to the king. So the king heard this, but the king not reacted. Once the king reached the palace, he was lamenting. He was thinking that whether the king is correct or the rishi is correct. He was not aware who is correct. So he was, yes, he did some act which is not a good act. So he was repenting for that. And in the same way, in the Samikya Rishi ashram, the boy was cursed, but after that, he was feeling that he did some mistake. So because of that, he was crying. And he was coming to this ashram and he was seeing his father is with a dead snake in his neck, and he was started crying more. Then suddenly the father come out from the trance. Then he saw his son, he was crying in front of him. See, that time he saw the dead snake. Suppose if there is a big offense with us, so if we are in the situation, if the person is taking that dead snake is the big offense, then first he will investigate what has happened to me, who put the dead snake on this, and all those stuffs he will start. But this Brahmana, this Samikya Rishi, what he did, he just simply threw the dead snake from his shoulder and he threw it away from that. And this is the boy. His son was crying. Then he asked, why are you crying? If anybody harmed to you, that's the question he was asking. So that means he is not considering that as a big matter at all, whatever the dead snake was in his neck. Then the Brahmana boy, the Shringi, he was explaining to the king, explaining to his father, Samikya Rishi. So after hearing that, the Samikya Rishi, what he is saying, he was not congratulating his son. Oh, son, you did a great work. So somebody disrespected your father, so he cursed you. You cursed him. So that is a great work. He did not did that. Instead of that, what he said, he began to repent. What are you saying? Alas, what a great sinful act was performed by my son. So he was considering the curse done by his son. That was a great sin. That was he told. Why? Because the king supposed to be treated as a god. Because this is, of course, this is not a Kali Yuga. It is the beginning of Kali Yuga. So that time, the rājarṣis, all the kings were the pious people. So they were always abide with the law. They won't go beyond they won't broke the law. And all the punishments, whatever the punishment need to be given to the culprits. So the people used to go to him and they will get the uh, what the punishment need to be given. The king used to give that. So that is the work of the king. And whenever there is a problem in their kingdom, he used to take care. So this Parīkṣit Maharaj, he was so nicely taking care of the kingdom. Nobody is having there is no scarcity. Everybody happy. So it's a happy environment. Since the Kali Yuga entered there, this incident happened. So because of that, the great king is going to die in 7 days because of his son. Because of his son, cursed him. So Samikya Rishi repent for that. Because my family is reason for the great king to die. So that was he was repentancy. And also this punishment is given is not the offense, whatever he did, it is not a great offense. He did not harm anybody. This is just a disrespect. right? He put a hanging dead snake is a disrespect only. But this Brahmana boy, he gave the death punishment to the person. That means he not aware what needs to be given for what. So suppose offense is this much, and the similar way there should be a punishment to be given, awarded. So that only the learned person can give. But this small boy, because of his purport of Brahmana quality, he gave this punishment to the king. And one of the other thing we can learn from this sloka is that, see, this Samika Rishi, he immediately repented that my son did a great mistake. He did not say that, oh, king also did a mistake, my son also did a mistake. My son did a mistake, it's a great sin, he was repenting. But if you consider in the current situation, current society, people, how if something happen outside of our house, our son did something, our son daughter did something, some mistakes, immediately we will support our son and daughter only. What, even though the mistake is with our son and daughter, the outside world, the current situation, current society, what we will do, we will support our family member only, even though the mistake is done by our family member. Why? Because we are thinking that our relationship is more than the codes of moral. So what is the reality? And in judgment, the judgment means if somebody did a mistake, the person need to take care of the person need to go through the punishment. So this is the law of nature also, and it is in the human law also. If somebody did a mistake, he has to go through the punishment. And if in our situation, in our current situation, if a son or daughter, some mistake can happen in the school or somewhere, he beaten somebody, immediately we will fight with the other opposite parties, even though the mistake is with our side, our family side, our son side, or our daughter side. From very childhood itself, we are teaching them going against the law. Because we are saying that, okay, then since the childhood itself, we are supporting them, okay, you did wrong, even though you did wrong, I'm supporting you. If we did like that, the small age itself, we will understand whatever I am doing, my parents will support me. So the son and daughter, they don't know what is good, what is bad they are doing. So that is the reason the current society, it is going through the lot of problems specifically with the youngsters, because of the parents supporting blindly the children. So that is the one of the big blunder current society we are doing. So there are many incidents. If you see some of the incident in the school, the boys they beaten the teacher and shouted the teacher, and teach if suppose the teacher punished the student, immediately they will come and tell to his parents. The parents going to the school and beating the teacher. These are the news we are seeing that day to day and in our life currently. So the teacher is supposed to be treated as a guru. The guru, whatever the punishment he is giving to the son or daughter, it is for their good welfare only. Because then only they will understand whatever they did, it is a wrong thing. We should not do in the future. They'll understand that if somebody gets the punishment. But currently, what we are doing, hey, how can I'm paying this much fees? How a teacher can beat my son? So immediately the people are going and complaining, and sometimes they are beating the teacher itself in the school. So these are all incidents happen in the current society. So this and all what is happening, so it is spoiling the people, spoiling the youngsters, spoiling the next generation, that they can do whatever they want. So whatever they are doing, that is correct. So that kind of mentality they are coming, they are growing in that kind of a mentality, since we are supporting this people. So, but here in this case, Samika Rishi, he did not support his son. Okay, your father got disrespected and you cursed the king. So that is a good job you did. No, he did not support his son. Instead, is repent is He's repent for this. Oh, what a great sinful act he did. My son did. That's what he was feeling. And Prabhupada also give the example over here. See, suppose a king is there. So king's work is, if somebody coming in with the problems, to solve that problem. If somebody did some mistake, he will give the punishment. So if the king is supposed to give the punishment to a brahmana also. So he has to give the punishment. If you come to know that the brahmana did the mistake, then he has to give the punishment. So, and in the scripture it is said that if a brahmana got punished, or if you hurt a brahmana, then it is if supposed to a death punishment awarded to a brahmana, and is supposed to a person killed a brahmana, that's a great offense actually as per the scriptures. But the brahmana did a mistake and the king gave the punishment. That kind of offense, that kind of sin won't come to the king, because the king did his work. He investigated and he gave the punishment to the person. That's all. There, the killing of brahmana won't work. So similar way, suppose a medical practitioner, doctor is there. They are doing so much of surgeries, and many times, many of the cases, some of the serious cases, the patient may die. So immediately we can't say that the doctor, maybe because of the doctor's mistake, the the patient may die. But we won't give immediately a death punishment to the doctor. Maybe some mistake done by the doctor, because he's the authorized person to do the operation, but because of some mistake, the patient died. That's all. There may be a case against him, and they will get some um, money from the doctor, from the clinic, or from the hospital, from the government or something. But we won't give the government won't give the death punishment to the doctor for the mistake, even though the doctor by mistake killed a patient during the operation, because he is a medical practitioner. So the similar way, the king, he did a small disrespect. So for that, the death punishment is not a correct punishment. He can go to the king. He's supposed to go to the king and he can explain, okay, whatever it is wrong. So that the king also ready to, if somebody going the person, and the person who is following the rules and regulations, who is following the scriptures, if you go and tell them that whatever you did is wrong, immediately the person will repent. Yes, he is a pious person. And this here, the Mahārāja Parīkṣit also is a pious king. So definitely he will repent for that. But instead of for what he did, he cursed the king. So here the king is called Narendra. So Prabhupada is speaking Narendra. Narendra means Nara Indira. Means he is the greatest among the human being. The king is supposed to be a greatest among the human being. Best among the human being. So that person should not be condemned by an inexperienced Brahmana boy. So this is also one of the great offense done by the Brahmana boy. And here, whatever the Samika Rishi did is a good thing. And Samika Rishi also, he was not felt anything when he saw the dead snake. So there are two things we can learn from this slokas. One thing is, a person who is in the self-realization path or in the God realization path, he won't feel for any disrespect. Even though somebody disrespected him, you won't feel anything. First thing. And second thing, if somebody disrespected the king or a person who is supposed to be treated well, king or guru or any aged elderly persons, they're supposed to be the small children, the youngsters supposed to be give the proper respect and not to curse them, not to punish them by their own. So these are two lessons we are learning from here. So the God realization person should not have any, it should not expect any respect from others. And yes, he is in the path of God realization. So he won't feel about any material respect. He don't there is no difference between respect and disrespect in this material world for him. And another thing, the youngsters supposed to be treating the elders or the great persons, personalities like king, teachers, and the elders. They should give the proper respect. So if you follow this moral codes, which you take away from this sloka, if you apply in our life, one by one, is every day we are discussing this one sloka. If you take away whatever the takeaway from the slokas, if we apply in our life, then our life, we will be in the path of perfection. Every day, every one within a day, we can't get into the path of get into a perfect 100% perfect in a one day, one night. It won't happen. Overnight, it won't happen. So one by one, whatever the discussion we are happening, we have to apply in our life so that we in the progressive way, we can get into the maybe we are in the path of perfection. We will reach the perfection one day. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, you can stop the recording. Any questions, any doubt? Hare Krishna. If there is no doubts, no questions, no feedback, we can go to close the call. Thank you, everyone. We will meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bro. Thank you, bro. Hare Krishna.